President Tajani, dear Prime Minister Lancela, dear ministers, dear Chairman of the Jewish Agency, Isaac Herzog, dear President of the Belgian Senate, Jacques Rochi, Your Excellencies, distinguished representatives of the European institutions, members of the European Parliament, Professor Snyder, leaders and representatives of the Jewish communities of Europe, dear friends. The great Jewish philosopher Maimonides once wrote, "If a man finds that his nature tends to the extremes, he should turn back and walk in the right way." I believe this is an essential lesson in life. Moderation is the right way. History has taught us that whenever humanity forgot this, the result was catastrophe. The Shoah, the murder of 6 million Jews, was the worst manifestation of extremism. It all began with populist slogans, "Germany, wake up," "We are the destiny of the nation," and of course, "The Jews are our misfortune." At first, there were just words filled with hatred and dark intentions, but they were also a theory that still had to be put to practice. As Hitler gained power, the climate became more hostile and attacks against Jews became more common. But the first large-scale experience was Kristallnacht. On the night of November 9th, 1938, 267 synagogues were destroyed and over 7,000 Jewish businesses were attacked. People saw their Jewish neighbors lose everything in one night, and nobody protested. Only 1 year later, the second experiment took place, the tragedy of St. Louis. A ship full of Jewish refugees sailed out of Nazi Germany, and not one country was willing to take them. Not the United States, not Canada, not Cuba. Several civil society organizations, both Jewish and non-Jewish, together with diplomats and churches, begged governments to save them. Not one country did, and St. Louis was forced to sail back to Hamburg. 254 of the passengers were murdered in Auschwitz and Sobibor. The tragedy of St. Louis showed the Nazi regime that governments were not going to move one finger to prevent the extermination of the Jews. Having made certain of the world's indifference, the Nazis set out to build a machine of destruction. In Germany, they bought popular support by spending large sums of money financed by political and economic violence. There were 938 Nazi concentration and death camps in total. 12 million people were forced to work there. 12 million slaves, more than 4 million Jews among them. Built on inhumanity, this was the most profitable enterprise in the history of mankind. For example, only in the Lodz ghetto, the Germans established 96 plants and factories that produced goods for the war effort, profiting of the misery of the slave labor of Jews. Dispossessing, enslaving, and murdering the Jews meant taking over their resources, their labor, and finally their lives. Murder and horror were the means of production in order to finance the conquest of the whole continent. The continuous murder of Jews in the camps kept all prisoners under enormous pressure, as we have chosen to pay special tribute to female victims of the Nazi horrors today, I would like to share the story of a woman who was close to me. Her name was Raya Kantor. She was a survivor of 2 concentration and death camps. She was taken with her 6-month-old baby boy to a special section for breastfeeding mothers. One day, she and all the mothers returned after work to feed their babies, only to find that there were no babies anymore. They disappeared forever. The mothers were told that their children had become blood donors for German soldiers. The Nazis were not only focused on murder, moral torture, and the destruction of the human spirit were also their goal. Only the unity of the Allies could stop Nazism. The world's major powers came together to put an end to this evil and liberated the camps. The first camps to be liberated was Majdanek on July 1944. As the Soviet army approached, the Nazis attempted to demolish the camp to hide their crimes. In the next 6 months, the Red Army also liberated Belzec, Sobibor, Treblinka, and Auschwitz. There, alongside 7,000 starving prisoners, they discovered hundreds and thousands of men's suits and more than 6 tons of human hair, the remains of more than 1 million victims. American forces liberated Dachau, Mauthausen, and Buchenwald, where local resistance saved many lives by delaying evacuation of the camp. Finally, 9 other major camps were liberated by Allied forces, including France, Canada, Poland, and United Kingdom. The British Army liberated Bergen-Belsen. The worst crime in human history only ended when the world united to put an end to it. Today, many of the seeds that were planted before are being planted again. A bad economic situation, the scapegoating of minorities, ideas of extreme nationalism, and the weak political center. The masses are looking again towards dangerous populism. Many slogans have also returned. Politicians claim to speak in the name of the people and to denounce their adversaries as enemies of the people. In this new populist wave, the Jews are being scapegoated and victimized again. According to a recent shocking poll by CNN, nearly 1 in 5 Europeans believe that anti-Semitism is a response to the behavior of Jews, and 1/3 knows nothing at all about the Holocaust. Moreover, according to a report by the Fundamental Rights Agency, 38% of European Jews consider immigrating from Europe because they do not feel safe. Make no mistake, the old demons of anti-Semitism never left. They are only joined today by new manifestations. Luckily, thanks to the Jewish state, a tragedy like the Shoah will not repeat itself. However, if the Jews are forced to leave Europe, the question is not what will become of the Jews, what will become of Europe. Jews have been loyal, law-abiding, and hard-working citizens, and hold strongly to the rabbinic saying, the law of the country is the law. Whether in medicine, science, technology, or arts, from Mahler to Chagall and Rothko, from Spinoza to Hannah Arendt and Simone Weil, from Einstein to François Englert, we have contributed to our societies as proud Europeans. Today, in the home of European democracy, as we remember all the victims of the Holocaust, Jews, Roma, LGBTI, disabled, and all others, I want to call you to action. We must use this opportunity to prepare for the upcoming battle against the extremism infecting our continent again. We need to work together, united, to rebuild support for a strong European political center. Europe must never again fall to the extremes. It must be a center of moderation, of security, and of tolerance. This is the right way. Thank you. And very special thanks, of course, to President Tajani for his support. He always supports our mission, and especially for the working group on fighting against anti-Semitism that is our partner in this event. And big, big thanks to our chair, Hans Becker, and our vice chairs present here.